quick thing on Caitlin Clark. It's been so much hype on Caitlin this whole season is a bit ridiculous. Now, first off, let me just say, Caitlin, she's a good player. We can't deny that, but I just don't understand why people act like uh, we haven't seen any type of basketball player since Caitlin. Like, there's plenty of good WNBA players in the past, and there's definitely a current, very good current WNBA players. I mean, it's really not much that Caitlin is doing that we haven't seen and everyone else can do. I mean, aside from assists, and I guess a little behind the back assists. I mean, everybody else is really done it, but I guess people just like to be ecstatic when Caitlin does it. Like rebounding. She does get some rebounds sometimes, but of course, other people get rebounds. Reese got 20 rebounds in one game. Steals, she gets a couple steals, but she's not a leading stealers. A lot of people, I think she has like 1.3 steals a game. There's a lot of people do that. Shot blocks, she gets some blocks every now and then, but she's not a dominant blocker. There's other people that gets blocks. And even scoring, she averages 19 points a game. That's good. That's very good. But it's not like we haven't seen people average that before. I think her highest this season was 35 points in one game. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe. I think she got like 30 something another time. Okay. I mean, that is good. 30 points in the game. WNBA. That's fantastic. But are we going to act like no other WNBA players score that much? I mean, I'm not even talking about this season. Well, in history, of course, people score way more than 30 points. But like Arike and Aja, they score 30 points all the time. But, when Caitlin does it, it's a big hoorah-rah. I mean, I just don't get it. And so and the main issue is that people keep saying she's saving the WNBA. She's not saving the WNBA. She's helping the WNBA. For those of y'all who don't know, the WNBA is a welfare league. And what I mean is they lose money every year. They lose millions of money every year. They're losing millions of money this year. They're just losing just a little bit less due to Caitlin. So, yes, Caitlin is adding money and they're adding looks. But the main benefit of this is really the Fever. Okay, the Fever's games are all, I think, pretty much all sold out. The home games, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and then where they go, they either sell out or get a lot of people there. So you got a lot of people watching the Fever. Okay, but it's just like one player on the team. Caitlin's one person. This is not boxing. Okay, so in the Fever is one team in the league. Okay, you're not going to survive if everybody just tuning in with the Fever play. It's not going to happen. The only way that WNBA is going to survive is to give out good players that were before Caitlin and coming in the same type of attention. That's the only way. One person is not going to do it. I mean, there's a lot of dummies talking about, WNBA is making money now, all because of Caitlin. Yes, they're making money, but the NBA, the men's team, pays for this league. Do people not realize this? They pay for this league. They've been paying. The NBA been paying for this league for about 26 years. Do people not know this? Now, why are they getting a handout? Why is the WNBA getting a handout if they doing so well? Like, they're still getting a handout this year. That hasn't changed. Hold on one second. I need to make a little change on this computer. Okay. So, like I said, when the WNBA can stop taking a handout, then the WNBA is making progress. Well, real progress. But right now, they're losing money. They're just losing a little bit less, but they're still losing millions every year until fans support players other than Caitlin. That's just the only way it's going to work. Okay, just tuning in to one person, one team ain't gonna do it for the WNBA. Okay, but Anyway, let's talk about this game. But real quick, like before they got here, right? The Fever started off real bad. They was almost like the worst team in the league, right? Uh, and all her teammates was getting the blame for losing. Like I know, like these players on the Fever, they won't speak their mind to the media. They won't. They just won't. You know, they play along. You know, they do what they're supposed to do, but they're not going to speak their mind. Like it has to be horrible playing on a team with Caitlyn, knowing that the first half of the season when they was stinking it up. If you just watch the games and you look on YouTube, they're just blaming her teammates. Saying, oh yeah, the teammates ain't doing it. They ain't catching the ball. They ain't. All they doing is blaming her teammates, but they don't blame Clark. So now, after they reach the midway point and they start winning and coming back, Caitlyn gets all the praise. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't getting any flack when they was losing, but now that they're coming back, she's getting all the praise. All the praise. And I know her teammates can't stand that. Because remember, again, it's a team game. It's not boxing. Caitlyn can't win without her teammates. And really, Mitchell is the one that got them to the playoffs. Okay? Caitlyn does what she does, but they would have not gotten to the playoffs without Mitchell. Now, y'all might say, hey, Mitchell and Boston were there last year. Okay. But was Clark there last year with just Boston? No. Okay, Clark didn't experience that. When Clark got here, she got to experience both people. Okay? So she's not in the same position. So all those people saying, hey, Boston and Mitchell couldn't do it when Caitlyn got there. Well, guess what? Clark probably couldn't have got it done either. She needs Mitchell. Who's going to try to tell me they don't need Mitchell? Okay, Mitchell's probably the best player on the team. Clark just throws some behind the back passes. She throws up a hell of a lot of 3-point plays, shots, and you know some of them go in. Now Clark set a lot of records, but god damn, how many records did they make up? First person to this, first person that. You know, I mean, they're just creating records out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? And now, in the main record that the media censored was the turnovers. Now, anybody who's been watching the game, every game, well, you know, after some games got played and she started breaking records, but really, like I said, they kept making up records like first player to 10 rebounds, first player to 10 rebounds and 15. You know, they just kept making up stuff. But they never said the first player to get the turnover record as a rookie. They never said that, right? And even when, because there's a couple things. Of course, she has a lot of turnovers. But the first thing happened was she became the first rookie to have the most turnovers. But nobody ever said that, okay? And they never said, hey, she's the fastest person to get to the most turnovers as a rookie. They just kept that under the rug. And then, of course, she went on to be the most turnover player in one season ever. Ever. And she's the fastest ever. Like, people would bring up LeBron, and I think LeBron is, you know, well, people might not like LeBron, but hey, he's a good ass basketball player. There's no other way around it. Just look at the Olympics. He dominated as a 40-year-old man. But no matter how you want to talk about it, LeBron is a very, very good basketball player. And people say, hey, LeBron, you know, he's one of the best out here, which he is, and he has a whole lot of turnovers. I get it. But he didn't get it in this rookie season. He didn't. Okay? Caitlyn was the fastest person ever to break the rookie record for turnover. She was the fastest person ever to become the most turnover-making machine in history. But it was probably like a couple of games afterwards where some media outlets actually mentioned it. But otherwise, the whole year long, all the media was covering up her turnovers. But they would pump up everything else. So I don't like the unfair media coverage that Caitlyn is getting. Like I said, Caitlyn's a good player. Nobody can deny that. But I just think she's a good player, just like, you know, Enrique and other good players. She's just another amongst other good players. But a lot of people think Caitlyn is the best person since sliced bread. I mean, that just don't make any sense. But the media's doing a hell of a job of sweeping on the rug her turnovers. Like I said, this is a rookie year. How the hell do you set most turnovers ever by any female player that's played in 28 years. How do you break that record mid-season? Mid-season in your rookie season, you break that record. But shout out to the media. They swept all that under the rug. But anyway, so today's game, Fever got their ass blown out. And I say this about players. Real good players show up in the playoff. This goes for basketball and also football. The good players show up. And who showed up this game? Mitchell showed up. She showed up. She always shows up. Like I said, I think she's probably the best player on the team. Now, people keep saying, hey, Caitlin Clark got in here. What were y'all done without Mitchell? Is Mitchell didn't play this whole season. It was just Clark and Boston. Y'all still think y'all would have got to the playoffs? Y'all just not being real. A lot of CC fans are just delusional. Okay, Mitchell, I want to see her average. I know she got to average at least as much as more as Clark. But without Mitchell, they wouldn't have got here. It's plain and simple. But Mitchell showed up here. Now, Clark, oh, my God, she heisted 13 3-pointers. Now, a lot of y'all may not have taken math, but hopefully y'all taking basic math. So let me just give you a quick overview of probability. Now, if you throw up, just throw up 30 shots. The probability of math means the more shots you take, the more chances that one or some of them are going to go win. That's just the probability of math. The more shots you take. She threw up 13 and only 2 went in. So she only made 2 shots off the basic probability of math. 2 out of 13 and finished 4 out of 17. That shit's horrible. So everybody keep, trying to be excited over her logo threes and all this and that. I mean, I guess that was her specialty. I don't know. But I know that she shoots up a whole bunch of 3-pointers. So, yeah, some of them are bound to go in. Like Reese. Reese doesn't shoot a whole lot of 3-pointers. She hasn't made that many, So her probability, is real low because she don't shoot that many. I mean, how you going to get a whole bunch of shots in there if you don't shoot that many? But if Reese shot as many as Clark, she probably could make somewhere close to that. I mean, I can't play a lick of basketball, but if you give me 13 times to shoot from 3-point range, I can make 2 of them. I'm pretty sure you can make 2 of them. So all this hip hop about rookie of the year and all this and that, these are the games that count. This is not the NBA. I believe it's best 2 out of 3. It's not 4 out of 7. They already got whooped in one game. She already stunk it up in one game. Now she got to win 2 straight. You think she's going to come back and be a superstar and win 2 straight? Connecticut's a good basketball team. But if you want to be a good player in the WNBA, if you want to make a name for yourself, you got to perform well against the good teams. Caitlin just didn't do it. So that's kind of all I want to throw out there. I know a whole lot of y'all Clark fans are going to say something, this and that. But just remember, because I know a lot of y'all can't read and you can't hear and you can't comprehend. Yeah, I'm sorry I have to say this. Because I'll be putting disclaimer in my videos and then y'all go and comment and just ignore my disclaimer. So my disclaimer here is Caitlin Clark is a good player. I'm not denying that. I never said she was a bad player. But I do believe there's way too much hype over her. Okay? And all these records she broke, they're kind of like a lot of silly records. They just keep making it up. First person to get a particular stat. It wasn't even a record then, but they just keep making stuff up for her. So I'm not really impressed with that. But like I said, I already know the media is not fair because they hid her turnover rate. They hid that all season. Okay, so Caitlin Clark is good, but she would not have gotten this team this far without Mitchell. That's for sure. And she definitely wouldn't have got it without Boston. But look at this team. I mean, they got in a number 7 seed. I mean, yeah, they should. This team got 2 number 1 picks in a row. I mean, how many number 1 picks in a row do you need to be a decent team? Do you want to get 5 number 1 picks in a row so you have 5 starters that were the first pick in the draft each year? I mean, come on. I mean, how many teams got 2 number 1 picks in a row? You should be all right. But Caitlin can't hold this team down by herself. She needs Boston and she needs Mitchell. Okay? They need all of them. Okay? If Mitchell's not on his team this year, they're not in the playoffs. For all y'all people who said Boston been on the team, Mitchell been on the team, and they stunk it up last year, okay. But show me a team where it's just Clark and Boston, or show me a team where it's just Clark and Mitchell. She needs both of them on the team, or they won't get this far. So there'll probably be some more blame on some teammates. But what's next? Is Indiana going to try to get another number one pick so they can have 3 number one picks in a row and then jump up and down and say, hey, we got a good ass team? Well, yeah, you got 3 number one picks. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I said, Caitlin Clark is good. I think her fans are kind of the worst, okay, because they always put down the other players. I just wish people would recognize that before Caitlin got in this league, there's a lot of very good WNBA players. They just don't get the same public mentions and media coverage as Caitlin does. I mean, we all know the reason why. I'm not even going to get into that. But, there's some people who got some significant wins already, like championships, MVPs, but they don't get that type of media coverage for some reason. So like I said, she flopped. I call this a flop. She didn't show up. She supposed to come out here, accumulation of what she did the whole season, and show these people that she's the rookie of the year, and she's supposed to perform well against a good team. But she didn't do it. She dropped the ball. Now, she actually got kind of low on turnovers, which is daggone amazing. She only had 2. Woo. I mean, that's pretty good. 11 points, I mean, it's better than 5. But it was less than Boston. It was less than Mitchell. She didn't show up. It's as simple as that. 4 out of 17 shooting, that's garbage. That's trash. Rookie of the year, like I said, when the playoffs start, you got to throw all that stuff away in the season. And you need to perform well. She didn't do it. So I would like to hear all the excuses for Clark in the comments. What's the excuses why she didn't perform well? Are you going to say, hey, Connecticut Sun was a top seed and she didn't do well, blah, blah, blah? I mean, that's how you prove yourself. Like, why should we give you props because you keep beating up on sorry team? Because that's how they started to come back. The way they came back and got near this 20-2500 record, they had this slate where they played a whole bunch of sorry teams. It's just a fact. Just go look it up. They played a whole slew of sorry teams and they won those. And then they got into competition. They did upset a team or two along the way, but they beat a lot of sorry teams too. But like I said, you got 2 number one picks in a row. You should be doing well. You got Mitchell on the team, who's a superstar, and she can shoot. She proved it here in the game. Mitchell showed up in the game. She came in and did what she does every game. She showed up. But that's it right now. I just want to give you a little talking. No video here. It's like YouTube copyright. I can't show WNBA footage, but we all know that the Fever lost. Now, they could come back and win 2 games in a row. If they do, I'll come back and give them props. But I know Clark better show up next game, because otherwise this Rookie of the Year stuff is kind of a fluke. I mean, either you want to play for records and stats, or you want to play for playoff wins and championships. Which one is more important? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe.